And he took out a business card and he wrote on it, Revelation 3:20, stuck it in the door, walked off in a huff. Well, a little while later, the lady comes to the door and she sees the business card, Revelation 3:20. Well, she knows her Bible, but not every verse. She opens up to Revelation 3:20, and of course she reads, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone will open the door, I'll come in and sup with them. Okay, that was clever. The next week in Sabbath, pastor finds his business card in the offering plate. But now Revelation 3:20 has been crossed off. Now it says Genesis 3:10. Well, pastor knows his Bible, but not every verse. He opens up to Genesis 3:10 and he reads, behold, I heard your voice, but I was naked, so I hid myself. Oh, that's just too good. That's too good. Did I get the remote yet? No, we're still working. Let's see here. Huh? Oy vey, oy vey. And mashugana. If you want to learn some good Hebrew words, Jewish words, mashugana. Say that with me. Mashugana. It means crazy and silly. And I'm mashugana. What can I tell you? Huh? What can I tell you? All right, we'll do that. All right, we better pray, huh? If we're starting off this way, doggers, we better pray. So, I'll take the honor myself. Let's bow our heads, please. Father God, we do thank you so much. Father, you're the author of relationships, the author of joy and peace and harmony. And Father, that's what we want. It's what you want for us and what we want. So bless us now, please. Father, these folks are expecting to hear wisdom from me. I hope not. I hope they heard from you. So guide all that is said and done and thought here today, Father. Just bless us all, each one. You know what we each need, and we count on you to provide it, and we do so by faith in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. You ever have days when you're up? Things just seem to be going well. But like me, you probably have some days when not so much. That, by the way, is the original bed and breakfast. Some days you're on target. You know where you're going. You're purposeful. But like me, do you ever have days where you just feel like you're swinging through life? Some days you just gotta laugh. And I love that picture. Don't you know what they're going on in their mind? Look at these silly humans. They're just laughing at us. Some days, oh, wait a minute. What did I do? That's the laugh. Is that the one that came up before, or I skipped it? That's the laughter. This one's the one where you find yourself saying, huh? And sometimes you might feel like you're up a tree. And some days you might feel stuck. By the way, no animals were hurt during the preparation of this presentation. But we are all in this life together. We're all so similar and yet so different. And we got to figure out how to get along. And sometimes it's not easy. And we're going to talk some more about some of the reasons why we can get in conflict with each other. And once we understand the reasons, hopefully we can do that less. We can live in more harmonious, peaceful, joyful relationships with everyone, not just those we're closest to, with everyone. Let's do a quick review. You should have a handout. My helper in the back has been faithful, giving a handout to everyone. Did we miss anyone? Oh, you folks. There's folks up here in the front that came in the side door. And who needs a pen? I got my $50 pen. Am I going to get it back? It's a $500 pen. Okay, thank you. Use it well. All right, who needs a handout? Put your hand up. You'll get a handout. Pen. And pens, we got pens too. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm trying to get by. Excuse me. Thanks for playing with me. I invented that game. Kids give me the funniest look. Back again? Until they realize I'm just a big kid and playing a game, and then it's fun. So we need one in the back over here. Have we started streaming yet? We are streaming? Hello, you streaming people. Nice to see you. And I'm told, Wes told me we have cameras all over the place, huh? Look at that. So I never know who I'm talking to, do I? I'm dizzy enough. I don't need that extra help, but thank you. Welcome wherever you are. We're so glad you're here. So glad you folks came today. Thank you. Thank you for that. It has been an absolute joy and delight to be with you folks. And I don't say that to all the boys or all the girls. I don't say that at every church. God has blessed me. I've been privileged. I was in Michigan for 3.5 weeks. I was in Kentucky for 10 days, Georgia, twice in Washington already in January. He's got me on the move. I have been totally blessed by you people, totally blessed. And you have the best potlucks. No, I take that back. You do not have. Is anybody not here this morning that's here this afternoon? Okay. You were not here this morning? Okay, you want to be sure and write these in. Is anybody not here now? Okay, a few honest people. Thank you very much. Oh, we're off to a bad start. Escalation, where little things become big things. And again, please don't try to tell me you don't know what I'm talking about, that you've never been in a conversation with another human being that didn't get heated, didn't get agitated, didn't get out of style, or not out of style, what's the word, out of control. We've all done it. And as long as it's now and then, again, I'm going to show you how to do less of it, but don't worry about it. But if you're doing too much of it, please get help. And again, my number, my contact information is on the bottom of these sheets. Please, if I strike a nerve, if I step on a toe or, hit a hot button issue, call me. Let's talk. I'm lonely. I need you to call me, please. Let's say what now? Excluding my wife. She missed this morning. Honey, I hope you're there now. These are great people. I wish you could be here with us. I'm serious. If God's going to let me be a blessing to somebody else, don't you deny he and I that privilege. So, if you got a question, let's talk. We'll figure out a time. We can talk, Zoom, whatever. So, escalation is the first germ. What's the second germ? 2 words. NI. What is it? Negative interpretations. Negative interpretations, sometimes I leave the S off. But again, it's misinterpreting what somebody else has done and putting a negative motive to it. One of my favorite quotes of all time, and I thought I knew who said it. When I went to validate that, I couldn't. I don't know who said this. But we judge ourselves by our motives. We judge others by their actions. I think it's the other way around, actually. We judge others by their actions. We judge ourselves by our motives. So maybe I messed up, but I was well-intended. You, on the other hand, messed up, and we never stopped to think that maybe they were well-intended. They just didn't do it right. Negative interpretations now and then. Don't worry too much. Be concerned. Third one, again, is invalidation. I don't even like talking about this one. We shouldn't be so sensitive. I'm going to say that again. What other people think of us, what other people say to us, how other people treat us, wouldn't it be nice if we could just blow that off and it doesn't matter? And again, with some people we can. If you don't have a relationship with that person, their opinion doesn't matter. But we ought to be so secure in the Lord, so secure in who we are, that other people's opinion just doesn't matter. I mean, it might sting a little, but invalidation we're all susceptible to. We've all been put down at times by people we care about, people we thought cared about us, and it doesn't feel good at all. And unfortunately, we've probably done the same to others. Hopefully never again, never again. The fourth germ, 2 words, what are they? AW, what are they? Avoidance withdrawal, there you go. And this is an interesting dance. Do I talk about this now or later? I talk about it later. Avoidance withdrawal, where something comes up and somebody wants to talk about it and the other doesn't. I'm doing a little housekeeping here, excuse me. I am so ADHD. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, look, a squirrel. Avoidance withdrawal. It's such a common experience, especially in marriages. That doesn't have to happen, but it's frustrating. We'll talk more about this one, because I promise you I'm going to give you a fix to that one, an easy fix. And the fifth germ, 2 words? No fun. Actually, I mean to change that. I got to change not enough fun. I shouldn't say no fun, but not enough fun. Fun needs to be on a regular basis. So we'll come back and and give you some thoughts on that one as well as the other germs. So that's a real quick review. If you need more information, again, call me. I can send you columns that I've written, whatever. I want to get to the antidotes. Who was not here last night? Okay, you watched online? All right. The reason I asked that is this first one we talked about last night. The first antidote is push the pause button. And I want to do this quickly because, again, we covered it last night, but just to summarize, thank you so much, David. Push the pause button. If you know that you're about to go into a holiday meal and you've got that relative who gets on your nerves or under your skin, don't nod your head and certainly don't point, but you know what I'm talking about. You better push the pause button before you go into that meal. You better choose in advance. I don't care what they do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to smile. I'm going to be content. I'm going to contribute to the joyful experience that a holiday meal should be. Ready? Break. You go into that meal, you're much more likely to have a joyful experience than if you just go in unprepared and they push your buttons, which, by the way, we're going to talk about button guard here in just a little bit. How do you stop people from pushing your buttons? Would that be nice? You can't. But you can deactivate the switch. You can't stop people from pushing your buttons. You can deactivate the switch. We'll come back to that. So push the pause button. Choose in advance. You have a rough day, days off to a rough stop before you go into the workplace. Choose the attitude you want to bring in. You have a rough day at work before you go home. Choose the attitude that you want to bring into that home. You're much more likely to have a happy, successful day or evening, whichever the case. So push the pause button is the first antidote. The second one we talked about last night too, assume good intent. And again, just to repeat, last night I asked people if they've ever hurt, frustrated, disappointed, or offended another human being when they really didn't mean to. I said, if that's true, raise your hand, and every hand shot up. We've all done that. We have all, because none of us are always at our best. We've always, often, or at times, frustrated or hurt others when we didn't mean to. Well, what's the chance if somebody just hurt, frustrated, disappointed, or offended you? Maybe they didn't mean to. But if you react, you created the conflict, not them. So assume good intent. I was talking to somebody today, though, and they said, Ron, can you always do that? Can you always assume good intent? And I said, you shouldn't. You should at first. But you know what? What is your name, sir? Harold. Harold? Harold. I didn't mean to do that, Harold. Can you forgive me?
Sure.
All right, thanks. I didn't mean to do that, Harold. Can you forgive me? I better move away. The first time he can say, all right, that was inadvertent, that was accidental. The second time he's going to question. The third time, no, stop assuming good intent. Let's figure out there's something wrong with me. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, David, great story on bullies this morning. There are some people, I mean, there's different ways to handle bullies, but you can't assume that everybody is well motivated. I'm just suggesting that's your first assumption. Before you react and determine they're up to no good, first assumption is, hey, maybe they didn't mean to do that. If that's not true, you'll find out soon enough. You'll find out. And then you can react appropriately. But don't jump to the conclusion that they're out to get you, because chances are they're not. Chances are they're not. All right. We talked last night. React or respond. Yeah, exactly right. Again, for those of you not here last night, reaction comes from the emotional part of the brain, the limbic system. Anybody remember the other word for the amygdala? Oh, I like that word, amygdala. It's the seat of emotions. If we're happy, we're sad, we're frustrated, we're excited, that's the part of the brain that's in operation. And if we just react to something, that's what's going on. It's not our thinking brain. Responding is where you pause and you think, all right, boy, that wasn't real good. What should I do? You're making a thinking decision. And again, at 3:37, I'm going to show you how to do that. Isn't that what I said last night? I was going to teach my favorite story at 3:37. Ooh, we better hurry. We talked last night about habit 4, the Covey 7 habits of highly effective people. Think win-win. or no deal for now. That's habit 4. Did I write that in there? Did I give you a place to write? Yes. Think win-win or no deal for now. Again, folks, life is hard for all of us at times. I think we make it harder than it needs to be. That's my personal opinion. But we're all challenged. And when we bump into somebody else who's also challenged, conflict can occur. But if we have that mindset that says, I want to get along with you, I want to work with you, I want to cooperate with you, I'm not going to give everything up just for the sake of getting along, but I want us both to come out of this situation whole. Think win-win or no deal for now is a great habit. My favorite habit is habit 5. I think I gave you a place to write in the words, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Let me tell you something else I know about you. And again, when I say I know something about you, I'm just saying you're just as human as I am. We're all in this together. You want to be understood by the important people in your life. True or false? The important people in your life want to be understood by you. True or false? True. So what happens in so many conflict situations is you've got 2 or more people each trying to be understood at the same time, so they're both talking. If both are talking, who's listening? And if nobody's listening, who's understanding? Hello? Seek first to understand. If you know that the other person wants to be understood by you, why not let them go first? You have a right to be understood by them, but why not let them go first? Hey, explain to me where you're coming from, what's your concerns, what's going on, and then I'd like a chance also to be understood by you. I was in a training, I don't know, several years ago, one of those smart marriage conferences, and somebody in the audience said, we tend to talk in what's called the shoot and reload method of communication. Now, you've never heard that term before, but you know exactly what it is. We fire off, and then we pause while the other babbles on about something, but we're not listening. We're reloading so that we can fire off again. And again, it's humorous, but it's not funny. And it's very detrimental to healthy relationships. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. You can't escalate if you do that. You can't. Because one's talking and the other's listening. You can't escalate. You can't negatively interpret because you're seeking to understand. There's not going to be misunderstandings, misinterpretations. You're not going to invalidate. You're not going to avoid and withdraw. I don't know if it'll be fun, but maybe it will. Habit 5 is a great habit to get into. For the not enough fun, the only remedy I know for that is to implement more fun, humor, and laughter in your life. And unless we do it purposefully, life can get busy. Life can become so filled with pressures and responsibilities and obligations that fun becomes a luxury that gets pushed to the wayside and too often ignored. And I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, that's a mistake. Life cannot be all about fun, sadly. But it can't be about no fun either. I was driving down the road in Farmington, New Mexico, 13 years ago, had KNMI, Christian radio station, on the radio. And they said, here's today's trivia question. Children do this 300 or 400 times a day, adults less than 12. What is it? I grabbed my phone. Who said it? Laugh. I said, laugh. They said, you win. And the joke was on me because I'm vegetarian and I want a chicken sandwich. But anyway, isn't that sad? Little kids are laughing all the time. Everything's funny to them. And we grow out of that. Now, again, we can't. We are adults. We are grown-ups. You are anyway. I'm an adult, but I'm not a grown-up. I refuse to grow up. By the way, write this down. Extra credit just popped into my mind. Taylor Mason. Oh, nobody? Oh, write down Taylor Mason. Go to YouTube Taylor Mason. You watch Taylor Mason, and if you don't laugh, I will pay you. Taylor, ventriloquist, Christian man. He's been with Gaither Homecomings, different events. Taylor Mason, especially with Romeo, he's funny, he's a ventriloquist. He plays the piano like you know. This guy is an amazing talent. Taylor, what is like? Watch him on YouTube. Jeff Allen, his own testimony, was a horrible human being. God got a hold of his heart. And now he's one of the funniest, clean comedians you're ever going to hear. Jeff, time too. His testimony, we